Let's talk about Uber making it to the list of most sustainable companies.
Yeah,
How
I know
much
you
did
have
they
some
pay for
some
that?
good stuff to say about that. Actually, I spoke to Stephen Council from SF Gate. You know, there were a whole bunch of PR articles on this, Chris. Okay, I mean they're PR. Okay, whatever. Their PR department is always overdrive. And
Rosita, thank you for the super chat.
Rosita, thank you. I'm glad
Appreciate
I
it.
found your channel. Yeah, well, yeah, we try, Rosita, and welcome to the channel. Much appreciated. Thank you. So I spoke to Stephen about a different subject, actually. Because believe it or not, Chris, my boycott is taking hold. Okay, that's all I'm going to say about that. But Stephen is a straight shooter, and his was the only semi-critical article about Uber getting one of the top spots or top 100 or 200, whatever it was, most sustainable companies list. All the other ones were fluff, cut and paste, no questions asked, bend over and let me just reprint what Uber PR gave me, all of them. And this is the problem with the journalist community. So I have great friends in the community, and they are the ones, they research, they dig deep. When I talk to them, they talk to me, ask me the proper questions. But then you have these other ones who just want to be first out there with some sort of something, get some space in the interweb, and they print it. They literally take whatever Uber tells them and print it, no questions asked, or Lyft. And I'm going like, do you guys have any idea? And that's why I try to surround myself with the best of the best. And Steven is one of the best of the best. And he researches, he digs deep, not because he calls me about it. I really didn't have anything to do with this article. I'm not even in it. But he said the San Francisco-based ride-hailing giant, notched the number 192 spot. Apparently, good word, fulfilling the ranker's criteria of corporate responsibility and sustainable practices. How many of you agree with this? Do you guys think Uber should be in the top 200 of most sustainable companies on the planet?
First off, I want the definition of corporate responsibility and sustainable practices first. Because how are they defining these things?
Whatever the definition you think it is, Chris, they don't belong.
Oh, absolutely.
We're drivers here. We know as drivers. As riders, the riders probably think it is best thing since sliced bread. So to compile the rankings, okay, Times pulled a list of more than 5,000 large and influential companies before trimming it down to a rigorous 4-step methodology. There comes it, right? Using 20 key data points, including companies' commitments to various climate goals. Uber. So the 2030 EV thing is gone away now, right? Okay. I mean, this is a little bit like, climate goals. What the hell are you guys talking about? And their employees' safety and retention. Breaking news to all the other journalists who did not write anything like this. Uber's turnover rate is 75%.
Well, now, for independent
we're not employees. We're not their employees. So maybe they're talking about their own 33,000 employees. You know what I'm saying? So obviously this puff piece was put out there disregarding half of the equation. So Uber, there's 2 equations here in a marketplace: the rider and the driver. Okay. Obviously, whoever did this survey with the top 20 data points did not speak to any drivers. It's pretty obvious to me.
First of all, you're familiar with the Better Business Bureau, correct?
Yeah, triple Bs.
Yes. So you've watched those 2020 and Dateline specials when they come on, where like a business is got a C rating, and then all of a sudden they pay off a little bit of money, and then all of a sudden they're A+ rated, and they still have open problems and things like that they still have to take care of or respond to. It's very similar to this, in my opinion. I think this whole list, this most sustainable list, is those who are taking the ESG score.
Yeah.
as their bread and butter. So their commitment saying by 2030 we're going to be all EV, which is now already 2040. And from what I hear, it's also going to be 2045, 2050 before that even happens. If that even happens, because we have things like hydrogen. A couple of car manufacturers are going in the hydrogen way. So there's multiple technologies to defeat problems. And I think it's those companies that are adhering to the strict guidelines, or the I'm going to quote unquote strict guidelines of what is making a company more ESG friendly versus non-ESG friendly. And I think that's all it comes down to. Uber is trying everything they can. That's why Dara was in Davos at the World Economic Forum, asking for more handouts. Please, sir, can I have some more to try to convince drivers to switch to EVs?
Yeah, well, that's not happening. But I mean, the thing to me is, I don't know why driver's voice is never out there, but it's definitely out there a lot more than it used to be a couple of years ago. So Stephen continues saying that non-sustainable businesses, as Time wrote, that the rankers looked at significant scandals and controversies. How many can we count here off the top of our head? Scandals and controversies. Should we talk about the Spygate that they spied, during the Kalanick days with with the hocus pocus they pulled, on the city officials? Do we talk about how many lawsuits? Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of lawsuits.
Blackball or whatever.
Yeah,
or gray ball.
Gray ball, yeah. I mean, anyway, but the magazine obviously ignored some of Uber's well-reported shenanigans. Love that word. Thank you, Stephen. You're the man. Such as secretly lobbying politicians and fooling police in the successful steamroll of transportation laws during company start. There is also, that word again, Proposition 22. There is also the more recent Proposition 22 battle in California, which saw Uber spend $59 million to pass the law that helped it avoid giving workers full benefits. Drivers consistently protest over low pay and unfair deactivations. Yes. So the fact that they made to the top 200 of the most sustainable companies. What's my favorite word these days, Chris? Hocus pocus.
Hocus pocus.
Hocus pocus. It's like
Avada Kedavra. One thing I always say is work smarter, not harder. If you aren't using the Solo app, then you may be working harder. So let's change that. Download the app, link your accounts where you can manage your income, track your expenses, and project your taxes. Not only that, but you can plan by optimizing your time, make more, and even guarantee your daily pay with guaranteed earnings. Download Solo and begin to work smarter, not harder today. Link is in the description. All right, let's get back to it.
Uber is not sustainable in the sense of making the shareholders rich. Yes, that may be it. Stock is worth 140. Companies worth $140 billion, with on the back of the sweat and blood and tears of the drivers. Because still, until today, not one single Uber official that I know, publicly or privately, has told me, without drivers, there is no Uber. One time, come out and say that. Even if you're lying, come out and say that, because that is the reality. Okay? One time. Just one time. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I disagree with this award, whatever this is. Yeah. For shareholders, it's sustainable. For riders, it's sustainable. For the drivers, it's not sustainable. So
the reality is, it's all a facade. These lists are not true in the least. And again, it just goes back to ESG. They're trying in their ESG, their DEI, all of that stuff. So if you want to follow companies that are doing that, those are the ones that are on the list. The ones that are not, I'd be very interested to know where Tesla actually ends up on this. Did they even make the top 200?
I don't know, but Uber did, and then when
I
Uber
would
does,
I would be willing to bet a pretty big nut that they did not make the top 200. And I'm talking about Tesla.
Actually, it's a good question. I'll look into it. I'll find the 200 and then see. I mean, if Uber made it, why didn't Lyft make it? I don't know. Right?
Again, it's all ESG. It's a facade.
But Lyft
The
is supposed to
reality,
be. But Lyft is
the
supposed to be
reality
just
is,
friendlier, gentler version of Uber. As we know.
the reality is, more drivers are driving more on the road. They got their cars on, so they're actually adding more to the environment. And this has been proven, in many city studies. And I'm not saying for or against either one of them, but that's the reality. There's more drivers on the road. They're driving more, and they're in their cars more. Even though it's supposed to be rideshare, it does add 2 more cars on the road. That's just
No question. No question.
simple reality.
No
And
question.
so, yeah, right there, with more drivers who are driving gas powered cars and not making necessarily the switch to EVs,
No
or
question.
alternative
Yeah.
tech, it's still pretty much the same as it was. I mean, yes, there are more EV drivers on the road, but there are not as many. There's more drivers overall, and there's more gas powered cars that are out there overall as well too. I mean,
Yeah.
just in the last 2 quarters, 2 million new drivers across the world, and they sure
Yeah.
as hell don't have 2 million EVs. They probably have a very small amount. So yeah, that means there's more gas powered cars that are driving on the road today than there were even 2 quarters ago.
There you go.
Oh, Tesla, nice. Okay. Okay. I would have
Well,
been
I mean,
that-
obviously Tesla, the electric car company, they don't, pollute the
yeah,
air
but
as much as
yeah,
whatever.
but the problem is it comes down to a whole political problem. So because Elon, is very First Amendment friendly, and all of those things with X and everything, they try to discredit Tesla and everything as well too. So you got to look at all the politics of everything, and that's what I try to do. So I'm glad to see that they actually made it on the list and are actually at a good point in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. So yeah, people vote with their pockets, man. The consumer is getting tired of the shenanigans as much as the drivers are. So time will tell if this continues. But it was I guess it's a feather in the cap of Uber that we're the most sustainable, whatever. Okay.
Yep.
Anyway,
I'm just
yeah.
waiting.
So
I'm just waiting for the Earth to go like flick like you flick a fly, flick the human race. See ya.
we'll see. We'll see. There is a lot happening this year. We'll wait. Competition is a good thing.
All right, thanks for watching. That short little clip was from our live stream, Show Me the Money Club with Sergio and myself, Tuesdays, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. Make sure you subscribe, turn on all notifications so you'll be notified when we go live, as well as all of our awesome content. Make sure to check out this video right here, which will take you to the entire live stream, or check out this video right there. All right, drive smart, everyone.